Okay, so what kind of situation do we have at the moment from a weekly perspective? We have a market that has created this perfect impulse to the downside, and after the impulse, the retracement followed. However, there is one very important thing that you have to notice. We had strong support at this zone. Now, after the impulse and the correction, the market with the correction broke back above this area. So this support here that was to turn resistance at this area became again support when the market broke it to the upside. So we have a strong weekly support at this area, and in fact, the market is already respecting it as we have already outlined in our previous analysis. Going back, before going on the daily time frame, I want to also show you one thing. Now, if we want informations on this retracement, how are we supposed to be taking our Fibonacci from the high to the low? And that is exactly what we get. The market retesting now the 0.382. Will the market manage to break above it? It would be great. If not, we will go again and test this support. But until the market doesn't break above this resistance or below this support, the market is trapped in between this zone. Going back on the daily time frame, what kind of situation we can see? Now, on the daily time frame, we can clearly see that the market is actually, as we have already outlined, trapped in between this support, which the market continues to respect, and this resistance, which is basically the 0.382 that we have already identified from our weekly perspective. Now, until the market remain inside of this support and resistance, there is nothing really interesting going on LTC USD. But at the moment, it seems like the market is showing some bullish momentum. Now, if the market will actually manage to break above this level, then this previous resistance will be turned support here. So previous resistance turns support. We will also have the possibility to create this impulse, correction, and impulse pattern to the upside. And we will basically have the bounce away from the weekly support. So if the market will manage to break on the retracement back inside of this area, how we will be approaching this situation with students, we will be monitoring price action from a 4-hour perspective inside of this area, waiting for the market to provide to us one of our valid entries. And as soon as the market will provide to us one of our valid entries, we will be taking a nice long with a very good risk to reward and very good probabilities for the continuation to the upside and the creation of a higher high. On the other side, if this area will fail to a break to the upside, if the market will actually manage to break to the opposite side, so to the downside, then the weekly support will be again turned resistance. And on the retracement back to this area, we will have the weekly resistance, the previous support, turn resistance at this area from a daily perspective, the possibility to create this impulse, correction, and impulse pattern to the downside. We will have the confluence of the Fibonacci taken from the high to the low of the impulse that the market will create, possibly at 0.382 or a 50% retracement. And at that point, how we will be approaching it with students, we will be monitoring price action from a 4-hour perspective inside of this area, waiting for the market to provide to us one of our valid entries. And as soon as the market will provide to us one of our valid entries, we will be taking a nice short with a very good risk to reward and very good probabilities for the move to the downside. Now, as usual, being reactive and not predictive, let's see where the market will actually decide to create the next strong move. Now, if you enjoyed this free analysis and education, make sure you drop a like and a comment. It really does support the creation of more free education and analysis for all of you, and I will see you in the next video.